Check this out. I can't believe they have the original pressing.
Are you serious? That's incredible.
Welcome to the All Speak, the podcast where we break down real, everyday English so you can speak with confidence, clarity, and a whole lot of fun.
That's right. I'm Gabby.
And I'm Eden.
And today we are tackling one of the most common questions we get from learners all around the world. It's one of those things that seems simple on the surface, but trips people up all the time.
Yes, and it's such a good one. Today we're talking about since versus for, two tiny words.
That cause so much confusion.
Right? Like both of them are used to talk about time, but they are not the same thing. And once you understand the difference, honestly, it just clicks.
It really does. Okay, so Eden, let's just dive right in. Can you give us the simple version first? Like the big picture difference between the two?
Absolutely. So here's the core idea. And this is the thing I want everyone to really hold on to. We use for to talk about a duration, meaning a length of time, and we use since to talk about a starting point, meaning when something began.
That's such a clean way to put it, duration versus starting point.
Exactly. So if I say, I have lived in New York for 5 years, the word for is followed by how long? 5 years. That's a duration.
Right, 5 years, a chunk of time. Got it.
But if I say, I have lived in New York since 2019, then since tells you when it started, 2019. That's the starting point.
Oh, I love that comparison. Same sentence, basically the same meaning, but a totally different little word depending on what information you're giving.
Exactly. And both sentences are totally correct. It just depends on whether you're telling someone how long or when it started.
Okay, so let's go a little deeper into for first, because honestly, for is probably the one learners use more often, or try to use more often, right?
Yes, definitely. And for is actually pretty flexible. You use for with any amount of time. So you can say for 2 hours, for 3 days, for a week, for 6 months, for a long time, or even just for ages.
So basically any chunk of time, any period works after for?
Exactly. And here's a key thing. For can actually be used with any verb tense, not just the present perfect.
Oh, that's such a good point. Because a lot of learners think for only works with have been or have done, but that's not true at all.
Right. So you can say, I studied for 2 hours last night. That's past simple. Or I'm going to be in a meeting for an hour. That's future. For is flexible like that. It just needs a duration next to it.
Okay, so now let's talk about since, because this is where it gets really interesting, and honestly where a lot of learners get a bit tripped up.
Yes, so since is a little more specific. It always refers to a specific moment in time when something started. And here's the important thing. When you use since, you almost always use it with a perfect tense, usually the present perfect or the present perfect continuous.
Right, because we're connecting a past moment to right now.
Exactly. So you can say, since Monday, since 2015, since I was a child, since this morning, since we met. See how all of those are specific points in time?
Yes, a day, a year, an event, a moment in time. They're all starting points, not lengths of time.
Perfect. So let's do some side-by-side examples to really make this stick. Gabby, hit me with a for sentence.
I have been studying English for 3 years.
Beautiful. Now the since version?
I have been studying English since 2022.
Yes, both are correct. For 3 years, duration, since 2022, starting point. You hear how both work?
And they mean basically the same thing, just different ways of expressing time. Okay, let me give another one. She hasn't eaten anything for 6 hours.
Good. And with since?
She hasn't eaten anything since breakfast.
Perfect. For 6 hours versus since breakfast. The meaning is very similar, but you choose based on what information you want to give your listener.
I love those comparisons. Okay, so now I think we absolutely need to talk about the mistakes, because this is the part where learners are like, oh, that's what I've been doing wrong.
Ah, yes. The number one mistake I hear is using since with a duration. So a learner might say, and this is incorrect, I have been waiting since 20 minutes.
Oh, yes, I hear that one a lot. It sounds almost right, but something feels off.
Exactly. And what they should say is, I have been waiting for 20 minutes, because 20 minutes is a duration, not a starting point, so you need for.
Right, and the flip side, someone might say, I have known her for last year, which is also wrong.
Yes, last year is a specific point in time, so you need since. The correct sentence is, I have known her since last year.
So the test is, ask yourself, is this a length of time or a specific moment when something started?
That's the perfect test. If it's a length, use for. If it's a specific moment, use since. Simple as that.
There's another mistake I want to flag too, and this one's really important. Some learners use since without a perfect tense, like they'll say, I know him since 2 years. That's not correct in standard English.
Right. With since, you almost always need the present perfect, have or has. So it should be, I have known him since 2 years ago, or even better, I have known him for 2 years. But if you use since, the verb tense has to follow.
And actually, this connects to something really important. Since is one of those words that signals to your listener that you're using the present perfect tense. So if someone says since, the verb form should match.
Exactly. They go hand in hand. Since and the present perfect are basically best friends.
Best friends. I love that. Okay, let's do a little quiz. I'm going to give a sentence with a blank, and Eden, you fill it in. Ready?
I'm ready. Bring it on.
Okay. They have been married 15 years.
For 15 years. That's a duration, a length of time.
Correct. Okay, next one. I haven't seen him, his birthday party.
Since his birthday party. That's a specific event, a starting point in time.
Yes. Okay, one more. This one's a little trickier. We've been friends, blank, we were in kindergarten.
Ooh, okay. We were in kindergarten. That's a specific moment in time, a starting point. So it's since we were in kindergarten.
Nailed it. And listeners, I hope you are playing along at home, or wherever you're listening, because that's how you make this grammar actually stick.
Absolutely. Okay, I also want to mention one more thing before we move on to our practice dialogue, and that's using since as a conjunction, because since isn't just a preposition. It can actually introduce a whole clause.
Oh yeah, like since I moved to London?
Right. I have made so many new friends since I moved to London. In this case, since is followed by a subject and a verb, a full clause. It still means the same thing, a starting point, but it's a richer, more natural way to express it.
And that structure is super common in spoken English. You'll hear it constantly in conversations, movies, podcasts, everywhere.
Totally. Like, since we started doing this podcast, which, by the way, has been one of the best things ever.
Huh, yes it has. Okay, so let's do a little practice dialogue together, just like a real conversation, so our listeners can hear how since and for sound naturally in everyday speech.
Great idea. Let's say we're two coworkers catching up at the office on a Monday morning. You start.
Hey, have you seen Marco lately? I haven't seen him since the team lunch last month.
Oh, I know. I haven't talked to him for a few weeks either. I think he's been really busy since he started that new project.
Yeah, he's been working on it for ages. I heard it's been going on since the beginning of the year.
That's a long time. I hope he gets a break soon. He's been in back-to-back meetings for the past 3 days straight.
Seriously? Wow. Okay, well, I'll shoot him a message. I haven't checked in since last Friday.
And scene. Did you catch all the since and for moments in that little conversation?
There were so many of them, and they all sounded completely natural because that is how native speakers actually talk. Nobody is thinking, duration or starting point. They just say it.
Exactly. And that feeling of it being natural, that comes from practice, which is why we always say, listen, repeat, use it in real sentences. Say it out loud.
Even if you're by yourself, make up your own sentences with since and for. Talk to yourself in the mirror if you have to. Honestly, no judgment here.
Huh. Zero judgment. The more you practice, the more automatic it becomes. And one day, you'll just say it and realize, I didn't even have to think about that. That's the goal.
That's the dream. Okay, so before we wrap up, let's do a super quick recap for everyone. Eden, take us home.
All right, so here are your 2 golden rules. Rule number 1, use for with a duration, a period of time, like for 2 hours, for 5 years, for a long time, for ages.
For?
Rule number 2, use since with a specific starting point, a moment in time when something began, like since Monday, since 2018, since I was a kid, since we met.
Since. And the quick test, ask yourself, am I talking about how long or when it started?
How long? For. When it started? Since. That's it. 2 words, 1 rule, and you've got it.
And if you want to go even deeper, here's a little challenge. Try making 5 sentences on your own, 2 with for, 2 with since, and 1 where you could actually use either one.
Ooh, I love that challenge. And drop your sentences in the comments. Seriously, we love reading them. It makes our day every single time.
It really does. And speaking of our amazing community, if this episode helped you even a little bit, please hit that like button. It genuinely helps so many other learners find the AllSpeak.
It makes such a huge difference, more than you might think. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you never miss a new episode.
We have so many more topics coming up. Tenses, prepositions, phrasal verbs, idioms, all explained in the fun, conversational way you love. You don't want to miss any of it.
We put so much love into every single episode, and knowing that you're out there listening and learning, that's what keeps us going.
It truly is. We are so grateful for every single one of you. Your progress is our motivation.
From me, Eden.
And me, Gabby, keep speaking, keep practicing, and we will see you in the next episode of the AllSpeak.
Bye, everyone.
Bye!